I'm at 1067 Salem Avenue in Dayton, Ohio. Doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a building. This is I think it's a 4-family. And so we are looking for any, structural issues, root intrusion, anything that may be of concern to the buyer. The access point is in the front of the building, just to the right of the front door here. That is cast iron coming up through the ground. And then it should, based off of the age, I'm expecting this to have clay once we get down. And I don't know, this is probably a sweep, meaning it'll force me to go out towards the street only. I couldn't find any other access, so we won't be able to inspect it. Yeah, it's sweeping me towards the street, and so we won't be able to inspect the inside of the pipe, because I can't. There's no other access further back, and so I'm trying to clean the camera off. See if we can keep this clean as we come down into it. It's got a bunch of Yep, and there we go again. There's a bunch of cast iron that leaves a black residue everywhere as it degrades. So we just want to see if we can get through this without being covered. But so we should be able to see better when we pull back. Looks like right here, looks like there's some roots. We'll be able to see that hopefully better when I pull back. Try to push out. Looks like it was the transition going into the clay. So we'll push out as far as we can. It looks like we got a bunch of, assuming these are root and grease buildup. I am able to punch through it. And I think I'm going to be, this is going to be a situation where it's going to, at the very least, have to be cleaned. Yeah, it just looks like roots. Yeah. Not a whole lot of real mature trees around here, but so we'll go all the way out to the main, and hopefully we can get a better look as we pull back. It's pretty open now, but we got a good deal of root intrusion. Kind of dog-legged, and there's been a repair done here with PVC. Looks like we're getting close to the main based off of, yeah, there we go. So we are already to the main, I believe. I'm going to go double check this just to verify it, but we're only 51 feet out. At the very least, it's going to need a cleaning. It does have root intrusion, which is causing it to grab solids and stuff as they go by. The good thing is that we see it now. It looked like it was getting pretty close to building up and possibly backing up into the building. So I'm going to pause the video here. We're going to go locate where this is just to verify we're at the main, and then we'll finish up the inspection. Go a little slower on the way back so we can get a better look at the line. Okay, it doesn't look like doesn't look like it wants to pause. So I'm just going to go verify where we are. Okay, so this is the main that is right inside the road. So just past the curb if you were walking out the front door and took about one step into the street. There's a manhole on the other side of the house to the right if you're facing the building. And so we have made it all the way to the main. And try to make sure this camera's all rinsed off here, and then we'll take a really good look at this. You only have about 50 feet of exterior pipe. Again, I was unable to inspect the interior line just due to lack of access. But it is cast iron, so you do want to make sure that you kind of try to monitor that a little bit. Cast iron's really bad for having causing backups with wet wipes and stuff like that. So you want to try to prevent the usage of those wet wipes because they can catch on the side of the cast iron really easily, and then they don't break down like toilet paper, so they do cause backups relatively often. The main thing that I found with this one, it looks like once we're outside and we're in the clay, we have a lot of root intrusion. This is normal, relatively common to find on old clay lines. You can see like this spot right here. This looks like, I was wondering if that may be a clean out that we just couldn't see. And that's where some of that is getting in. But structurally, looks like most of this looks good. So it looks like we dropped just below a little bit of water there. That camera lens is only about a ½ an inch off the bottom of the pipe, so that's not a ton. But we do have a lot of backup here. You can see I was able to poke a hole in it, but that's pretty close to causing a backup now. There's looks like a bunch of roots, and then the white stuff covering it looks like it's probably grease coating that. But that's, it was almost 100% blockage there. So, and that was right around 27 feet or so. We'll poke back through that. Let's see if we can keep that open right now. But see, if you look right there, that looks to me like that's a wet wipe right there. And like I mentioned earlier, those things, toilet paper, you can get some really expensive stuff that doesn't break down as easy, but yeah. You could have this re-inspected afterwards to verify that there is no structural issues behind all this root intrusion. You can see this is right out of joint here, which is usually when they get in, right out of joint, the packing breaks down, and then the finger roots get in around it. Because of that, it is already holding a little bit of water here. You can see at least far enough ahead to know that that's not a ton of water, but you have multiple spans here with just a lot of buildup. This looks to be all caused by root intrusion, catching all this stuff and causing backup. So again, structurally, it all looks like it's it's all kept shape. I don't see any breaks in the pipe or anything, but obviously there's not can't see a whole lot behind those couple sections of roots, but those need to be taken care of immediately. So they're already vertical. Based off of trying to get the cap out of this, there wasn't a whole lot of, doesn't look like it's been accessed before, so this is maybe the first time they've had root intrusion, which is pretty good for a building of this age. But again, overall, the line looked good structurally. Obviously, I can't see behind where the root intrusion is, but it looks to be in at the joint, which is pretty common. And they're just heavy amounts of roots at about 27 feet, and I believe like 22 feet or so. And they are, actively starting to cause a backup in the line. So those need to be taken care of immediately. And then from then on, you'd want to either have a reinspection done to see how much of the roots are left, if any. If done well, this could be opened up, and then you'll have a few years before you have any issues. You could get a reinspection. A lot of companies that provide the cleanings may have a camera so they can take a look at what kind of shape the line is in after you clean it. And then I would also recommend a reinspection in, say, 3 to 5 years. If the cleaning is done well, you can get, if they're using a 6-inch double knife, you can usually get a few years out of it. And then I would have another inspection done to kind of gauge root growth and see how often you need to maintenance this. It is common to have to maintenance roots in sewers on old ones like this, but you just need to kind of get an idea of what your maintenance schedule looks like. So yeah, I would clean the roots immediately, and that should at least take care of the immediate problem, and then set up a regular maintenance schedule. So that'll end the inspection at 1067 Salem Avenue in Dayton, Ohio.